Get a jump start with NetSurf Telecom's NT Softphone. Sign up today and get $1 free credit to experience our great rates and excellent quality. Visit www.netsurftelecom.com.
But you have to be in the know to know what's happening and what happened and what took place under the PPP regime when it comes to stealing monies.
On June 4 last, Nightly News sat down with Mr. Lionel Wordsworth, the CEO of the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, to discuss the status of the Dochfour Canal project, which as time passed became far removed from being regarded as transparent. In our discussions with Mr. Wordsworth, clarification was sought on the costs attached to the project.
The actual expenditure to date have not gone past that 3.6 billion.
That was Mr. Wordsworth's response, and it reflected the Hope Canal project being a viable, cost-effective one. Our tender board telltale laid bare certain facts which clarified those words uttered by Mr. Wordsworth.
Do you actually think that the amount of money spent on the Hope Canal is more than they have estimated, the 3.6 billion?
Let me start off by telling you something. That tender came out for $747 million. That was the engineer estimate. 746 or 7. If you're going to ask me if I think the project orders something by something $1 billion, I would first start off by telling you that they made it the way and they could have made it even more.
He explained that this project is one example of how assumed values and overused addendums were utilized by the previous administration to not only increase contracts cost, but to secure their own frex.
They have always been famous in changing scopes of words fictitiously and associating money to it.
The source added that several aspects of that project should be questioned. He recalled an ad being played for excavation services, which would have seen the successful contractor being paid 25,000 Ghana dollars an hour. That payment was reportedly unwarranted, given the fact that government had purchased some 38 excavators, signaling payment being tendered only for labor. Reference was made to the recently discovered bankrupt Petrocrete Fund, whose proceeds reportedly part-funded the Dochfour project.
If they're going to say to you and me that the Petro-Caribbean money, which was in excess of 26 billion or more, was spent on the, some of it was spent on the Hope. Even if they spent 4 billion on the Hope, on the Dochfour project, it will be 4 billion added on to the 3.6.
To the 3.6 that was already telling you.
It's automatic. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know.
No.
The Petro-Caribbean agreement stipulated that Ghana is expected to supply approximately 210 tons of paddy and polished rice annually to Venezuela. The cost attached to this supply is $130 million. The telltale advised that the new government should not only seek out financial audits of these works, but also engineering audits. Those, he said, will see the cookie beginning to crumble. For HGP Nightly News, Kingsley Bryan.